Good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, March 14th, 2025. My name is Barry Cowan. I've been the president of this club since August of 2005, and today I'm your host, and I'm also welcoming today's guest co-hosts, Carol Friedman, Bob Gastisha, Jim and Chris Gould, who are our presenters. And did I leave anyone out? I don't think so.
Ada.
Oh, no, Ada is not a co-host today. Sorry.
Oh, no, I'm not a co-host.
No, I don't think so. Okay, well, we're coming up to St. Patrick's Day, so shake your shillelaghs and hope it's great for you on Monday. I plan to go out and get the corned beef and cabbage dinner I get every year at Duffy's, so I don't have to cook anything. So it's good to see a great turnout as I expected whenever Chris and Jim Gould are here. They really don't need any introduction from me because they're already nationally famous and soon to be internationally famous. Float on the boat. So without further ado, it gives me pleasure to present to you today's guest speakers, Chris and Jim Gould. Let's give them a sitting ovation, folks.
Sitting ovation.
Okay, we're here. I think we are.
A sitting ovation. That's good, Barry. I like
is.
that.
Well, welcome. Well, thanks for having us here. I'm Jim.
I'm Chris.
And we're Geeks on Tour, as most of you already know. And we're recording this. We have a hodgepodge for you today. Let's see if I can see it. There you go, Chris. Take it away.
Yeah, as usual, Barry always just asks for, oh, give us what you got. So I just come up with this, we call it a hodgepodge of tips. And up until the very last minute, I'm debating about what I'm going to teach. So we'll see what happens. And I'm perfect. I love getting questions. So have at it. When you see something that you want to ask a question of, you can put it in chat or you can raise your hand and we'll get to it. Now, I'm pretty sure that most all of you have seen us here before, but I still like, just in case there's anybody new in the audience who are Geeks on Tour, it is not the Geek Squad, okay? When you get those spam emails saying that you have an invoice for $500, that is not us. We are Geeks on Tour, not Geek Squad. And it's just us. Geeks on Tour is Jim and Chris because we've been geeks forever.
Yeah.
We met because I owned a computer training center and he worked for the company that built the computers that I bought for my computer center. This was in the early 90s. And
back when we were young.
You mean I'm not young anymore?
Oh, yes, you are.
So we've been geeks forever, and we do like to travel. For 14 years, we lived in a motorhome and traveled around the country. Now, we are about to be geeks on world tour. That little map there is every place that our cruise ship is going to be in port for the next 3.5 years. And if you want to know what cruise ship, this is it. It's the Villa V Odyssey. It's a new concept. It's called residential cruising. We are selling our house and we bought a cabin on board this ship. And our plan is 7 years that we will be living on this cruise ship. Now they have good internet, not as dependable as we have it here. So we expect to still be online pretty much the same as ever. So you'll hardly know we're gone.
Hopefully.
Yeah. But that's us, Geeks on Tour. And I've been a teacher the whole time. I had a computer training center here in Fort Lauderdale. We are in Fort Lauderdale right now. We get on board the ship on April 20 in Cartagena, Colombia, and then we're gone. Our website, geeksontour.com, has all of our learning materials. hundreds of articles, hundreds of videos, live YouTube shows, and we've picked the best and organized top tips for our paid premium members. I'll be showing you some of those. 130 different tips for members. Also on our website is whenever we teach a class like this, we put the PowerPoint or the slides on our website, and you can review them at any time. I want to show you that. So if you go to geeksontour.com and then just scroll down, you will see classes. Whenever we give a presentation like this, we call it a class. So classes, and we have them all organized by date. So you can find, here we are, March 14th, Deerfield Beach Computer Club. If you click that, you will see the list of tips we're going to give and the slide deck that we're going to be using. So you can review this class at any time by going through this slide deck. Okay. And all the past classes we've given for Deerfield Beach, you can just look through that list and you can see them all. I have 10 tips selected today. We'll see how far we get. I might, depending on the time, I might pick and choose a little bit. I want to let you all go before lunchtime, you know. So
Likes to talk, I heard. Yeah.
no, I try to keep it to an hour, but as I say, we'll see. And this is my hodgepodge of tips here. Oh, do you notice, Barry? I added one since you told me how much you like that YouTube translation. I've added it to the list here. So hopefully we'll get to that. So first tip is your phone as a Wi-Fi hotspot. Have you ever been someplace, you know, you've schlepped your laptop to the park, and you wanted to be out in nature and do some work on your laptop while you're in the park, and there's no Wi-Fi in the park. Well, but your phone, if your phone has a good cellular connection, you can turn it into a Wi-Fi hotspot. I want to show you that both with, and here are the instructions, so that's all you really need. On the iPhone, you just tap on Settings and Personal Hotspot and allow others to join. Now you can set a password. That's so that people nearby won't be using your connection. But as long as you just have allow others to join, then my iPhone's hotspot will be available to my computer. On Android, you also go to Settings and Connections and Mobile Hotspot and Tethering, and turn on Mobile Hotspot. All right. Now, to just show you how that works, I'm going to go to my computer. And this is a Windows computer. And let me, oh no, that doesn't work. Can't zoom in on the corner. Can you? Zoom it down here. In the very lower right-hand corner, you have your Wi-Fi. And if you click on the Wi-Fi, the little arrow, there we go, very good, thank you. You click on the little arrow next to the Wi-Fi symbol, and it will show me Mrs. Geek. That's the name of my Android Wi-Fi hotspot, and iPhone. So you could be out in the woods with no Wi-Fi around. As long as your phone has a connection, it can be shared as a Wi-Fi hotspot to your computer. Okay, now when we were RVers, we used that a lot. Really don't use it too much anymore, but it dawns on me that there's a lot of people that don't know that it exists, and it can be very handy when there's no Wi-Fi around. Mm-hmm. All right. Another thing about Wi-Fi and cellular service in general. Now everybody realizes, right? Your phone needs to be connected to the internet in order for it to do its work, except for a few things like taking photos. Most things require a connection to the internet. There's two ways to get it, either from a local Wi-Fi hotspot or from a cell tower nearby. Once again, let's say that you're out in the woods and now there's not even any cell signal. You're miles and miles from any cell tower. There is nothing. Your battery is going to drain quickly. So here is a tip, and that is turn on airplane mode. Because what's happening? Your phone continues to look for a cell tower. If it doesn't find any, it drains its battery while it's looking. So you can tell it, stop looking, by turning on airplane mode. That turns off all your connectivity. Now, obviously, you won't be able to get or receive phone calls or text, but if there's no cell tower or no Wi-Fi, you can't do that anyway. So, turn on cell airplane mode, and your battery will last longer.
Chris,
Yes.
there's a question.
Okay.
Does using your phone as a hotspot use data?
Absolutely. Yeah, let me go back to that slide and show, yeah, take a close look at this slide. It's your cellular is going into your phone. It's converting it to Wi-Fi that goes out and is then used by your computer or your tablets. Yes, indeed, you are using your data plan from your cell provider when your phone is a hotspot. Okay. Arranging icons. And the main thing with this, I mean, I assume that everybody has moved icons around on their phone. There's just one thing that hasn't always been available
Hang on.
on the iPhone. And that is what?
Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. So on the iPhone, if you want to
Whoops.
move
There.
icons around, you know that I have so many, that you touch and hold until something happens. When you let go, they all start wiggling, but just the touch and hold. And then to stop them from wiggling, you need to go home. How do you go home? You just swipe up from the bottom. So now they're stopped wiggling. So I have this icon here for Flanagan's. Let's say I just don't want that on my screen at all.
Whether you're
Touch and
starting or
hold.
scaling your company's security program, demonstrating top-notch security practices and establishing trust is more important than ever. Vanta automates compliance for SOC 2, ISO 27001.
Some other sound is going on
Yeah.
here.
Security reviews
Got
by
it.
automating questions.
Okay.
Okay. So I have the choice to remove the app. If I tap there, notice I now have the choice to actually delete the app. Let's say I never want to use the Flanagan's app again. I want it gone from my phone. That's what delete. But I can also just remove it from home screen. Now, how do I get it back? Here's the thing that Apple didn't always have. If you go all the way to the very end, you keep swiping left until you get to the rightmost screen, you are now in what's called the app library. And you can, if you know where it is, I think it's under entertainment, shopping and food. I tap there and there is the Flanagan's app. So it's still on my phone. Now I can touch and hold and then just keep holding, bump up against the left, and I can put it back on that last home screen. And then how do I stop them wiggling? Swipe up. So it used to be that all apps on an iPhone were on your home screen or they weren't on your phone at all. And if you want to combine some apps into a folder, same thing, long press until, and then they start wiggling, and now move one on top of the other, and now you have two apps in one, what's called a folder. That's how you get your screens organized. And Android, pretty much the same thing. Let's see what let's say I want to get rid of the PhotoMine app. I touch and hold. This is Android now. Now I have the choice to remove or uninstall. Same idea as with the iPhone. If I remove, it's just gone from this home screen. How do I get it back? On Samsung anyway, you swipe up to get to the All Apps library, and they are in alphabetical order. And I find PhotoMine, and I touch and hold, and add to home screen. So now it's there. And there's one other difference in Android in how you can combine things into a folder. If you have a folder, you can tap the little plus and then find the app. Do I have too many apps or what? I know I do, but I just get bigger phones. PhotoMine and done. So now the PhotoMine is in that folder. So yeah, and here's one, do as I say, not as I do. You should have your home screens less cluttered and more organized than I do, but those are the methods to do it.
Chris, we've got another
Yes.
question.
Okay.
How do you label the
How do you
new
label
folder?
the new folder? Okay. So let's say I put Netflix and select and then create a folder. And you have to have two in order to create a folder. Okay. Now, on the Android, it has just a blank spot where it says folder name. So with the folder up, you tap where it says folder name, and I'm just going to call it test. And done. And then I'm done with that. Now I have a folder called test, and it has two icons in it. And it's the same on the iPhone. It got an automatic name, but you can tap on that automatic name and change it. Good?
Irving?
Okay.
Irving, you have to unmute. Irving, unmute if you've got a question.
There, I'm unmuted now. My question is, when you're on your iPhone, when the page is full and you want to move one of the apps out of there, what's the trick?
What do you, I'm not quite sure. Okay. So I have,
Yeah, it's completely full, and you want to take one of those icons and move it elsewhere.
Okay. So there's one called passwords.
All right.
I can touch and hold until it's attached to my finger. I'm still holding down on it. Then you just bump up against the edge until you're over on the next screen.
Okay, that's what I didn't know. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. And that's exactly the same on the Android as well. And then to stop them wiggling, swipe up. Okay. So back to the slides. Arranging icons on an iPhone, you can delete the icon or delete the app. You can get that back from the app library. You can move icons around the screen or to a different screen, and you can combine icons into folders. Samsung, same thing. You can delete the icon or uninstall the app, get it back from all apps, move them around the screen or to different screen, and combine into folders. Oh, this is a fun one, and one that very few people know. So I know a lot of you that so far it's been review, but let me think. I made
Got
a
one question here in the chat.
okay.
Let me see what I found here. Um, Judy Brown is asking, I alphabetized each page. It took some time. Is there an easier way?
Um, on alphabetized each page, probably not. On iPhone, there is a setting that just says arrange all my icons alphabetically. So it starts with page one and it goes alphabetically all the way through. If that's what you want, then yeah, that's an easy way. On Android, you can alphabetize your app library, but not your home screens that I know of. I don't know of a way to alphabetize your home screens.
It says, where do I find that?
Okay, iPhone settings, and I haven't done it in a long time. Let's see, home screen and app library. Show on. How about I'm going to search for alphabetize? Nothing. All right, search for apps. Apps and nope. All right, I have one more idea and then I'll have to say I don't know. General and where's reset? Anybody? Transfer or reset. Reset and home screen layout. If I reset home screen layout, your home screen will be reset to the default. Downloaded apps will appear alphabetically after the first home screen page. Okay, so that was general and reset home screen. It's kind of a scary thing to
Yeah.
do, but if you want them all alphabetized, that's what it'll do.
And there.
Okay.
All right.
So, using the space bar like a trackpad. So on my phone here, I am looking at an email that I am composing. And can you zoom in just on the bottom half?
Yes, I can.
Thank you. And notice that there's an error in the second line. Well, you can tap there. Oops. But now, how do I get over? You know, tapping in the exact spot can be difficult. If you touch and hold on the space bar, notice how all the characters have gone away from the keys. Now I can rub left. See the cursor moving up in the top? I can even rub up and down, but left and right is really pretty easy. And I can position it exactly. And now I can delete. I'm not going to because I'm going to show it to you on the Android as well.
6.
So I go in. So everybody can try that on their phones right now. Drafts and here. So here is that same email. I'm editing it on my Samsung phone. I can tap nearby, but then to get specific, I can long press on the space bar. And notice this one actually says you are now in cursor control mode. And now the whole, what was the keyboard is like a trackpad. Do you see the cursor moving around?
Yes.
So you can get to the right place and then tap delete and type what should be in there. I use that fairly often, actually. It's a handy little typing tip. Thank you, Carol. She says very cool. Next, now we're on to the camera, or at least for this tip. And I see where it says tip 044. I just want you to know what that is. That is our Geeks on Tour website, top tips. So if I go back out to Geeks on Tour, and what is it? Control, yeah. I have my screen magnified. Okay, good enough. And I go to tutorials and top tips. And that is tip number, what was it, 044? A quick way to take video. So the top tips just give you a paragraph, a quick paragraph right at the beginning, just saying, what is this tip about and how do you do it? So when you tap on the camera app on your phone, you normally expect to take a still photo. There are other options like video and panorama. You can select those by tapping their respective buttons, but what if you're all set to take a photo and you decide a video might be good? All you do is hold down on the shutter button and it will go into video mode. When you let go, it stops.
Oh.
Then also in my top tips, I have, if you want to learn, if you need more than what was just written there, you can see this video, that video, or you can read this article to learn more about taking video with your phone. And people can try that on their phone right now. You just go into your camera, and this is the same on Android or iPhone. You go into your camera. If I just tap the shutter button, I'm taking a picture. But if I hold down on it, you'll notice it will turn into...
Not when there's nothing to see.
Yeah, I had to pick it up so that it was seeing something. It said, I'm not going to take a picture of the desk that I'm sitting on. Notice how it's turned red. And you see the video timer going along the top. I really like this. And then when you let go, it stops taking the video. How many of you have tried to take a video only to realize that when you turned it on, you were actually turning it off? And when you thought you were turning it off, you were turning it on. Happens to me all the time. So I now almost always use this little shortcut. So it's because it's so obvious if I'm holding down. Now you say, but what if I want to take a 10-minute video? I'm not going to hold down on it all that time. Well, once you start holding down, you'll see this little lock. If I drag my finger up to that lock, now it is continuing in video mode.
Oh my goodness.
Now you have that stop and pause. I don't know that the iPhone has a pause. I like that, but you can stop the video. So that's and you know, especially once you know that little shortcut, take video. Having video as part of your photo library is so enriching. Yeah, so I like taking video. Editing with Magic Editor. So how do you like that picture? Most of you are in southern Florida, right? South Florida. How about that springtime yellow tree called the tababuya? I love those trees. They don't last long, but when they're out, they are just phenomenal. And notice how nice and blue the sky is and how dramatic this photo. That is the photo I took. That is the original photo. And I love that tree so much. I said, I want to make this photo more dramatic, prettier. You do that with Magic Editor, and I want to show you. So, and this is the same on Android or iPhone, as long as you're using Google Photos. This is an editing feature of Google Photos.
Excuse me, Chris. We have a question from Carol.
Okay.
How do you get rid of problem of your pictures are full?
Well, it depends on whether that full is your device full or is your Google account full. The device, you have to either delete photos from your phone or you have to buy a new phone with more storage. If the cloud, if your account is full, then you either have to delete a bunch of stuff or just pay for more cloud storage. You know, there's no way to just increase your phone storage
Yeah,
without buying
it's
a
the
new phone.
device.
If it's the device. Now, you know, Google Photos does give you a way to delete all photos from the device that it knows are already stored in the cloud. So if you delete them
Hmm.
from the device, you won't miss them. You go to Google Photos and you still see them in the cloud. And that's called free up space. And it will do that.
Hmm.
It will delete all the photos from your device. But careful, how many copies do you now have? If you delete them from device, you're left with just the one copy in your Google Photos cloud account. That's no good. You know, I mean, I trust Google Photos. It keeps my photos very safe, but it's still computers. You know,
Mm-hmm.
things happen. You
Mhm.
need to make sure that you have another backup before you do that free up space
Where do
command.
you delete the photos on your device, on an Android device?
Okay, I'm on it now. Do you use Google Photos?
I do,
Okay,
but I
so
also have the camera.
right, right.
Yes.
Um, well, use the Google Photos command,
Okay.
and I'll show you. So if I say, well, these are great examples. I just took these videos, right?
Yes.
And well, actually, they're just garbage. So if I tap on this garbage video and it said I'm not going to take a picture of it, and tap the trash, it's saying this video is garbage. Delete it from the device and from the cloud. That's what move to trash means. So that video is now gone. It's deleted from my device and deleted from the cloud. Let's say for some reason this video you wanted to keep, but you don't want it taking up space on your phone. That's a different command. That is swipe up and delete from device.
Ah.
I delete it from the device. It is now not taking up space on my phone, but I still see it. Why? Because Google Photos is showing me the cloud copy.
As long as you're connected.
As long as you're connected, yeah. So you need an internet connection. But if I go to the Samsung gallery now, that video is gone. It's not there because the gallery is showing me on my device.
Thank you.
Okay? Good. All right. Magic Editor though. That's what I want to show you now. And I have these in a folder so that I know. There. All right. So here is that picture. And it's, you know, yeah, okay, that's a tababuya tree in bloom, but it's just not as good as I want it to look. You tap edit first, and then Magic Editor is a special tool in Edit. It's this one right here that's changing colors. That little button is Magic Editor. And it investigates the picture and says, well, what do you want to do? I'll bet a lot of you have heard of Magic Eraser, right? Magic Eraser, well, that's all it does. It will erase items in the picture. Magic Editor will also erase items in the picture, but then it will do a lot more. So first, I do want to erase these telephone poles in the background. It says circle, brush, or tap to select. So I'm gonna, okay, it's highlighted that. I want to add more to the selection. I'll highlight that. and maybe even that. Okay, so now I have highlighted. First, I'm getting rid of stuff I don't want in the picture. I tap done, I'm done selecting, and erase. And it thinks about it a minute, and it works, and all right, and it didn't get that one. So I will have to try again. Yeah, if all you want to do is erase items in a picture, the magic eraser is a little bit easier. But once you've done that, wow, it's still, oh, okay. And that's because I am using Magic Editor. It thinks that I wanted to just make that telephone pole a nice smooth pole. Anyway, I'm going to go on to the next. Let's see if any of the other ones. Nope. The next item, so I'll check mark on that. Now see, the Magic Editor icon is still there. So it's saying, well, do you want me to do some more with this? I tap the Magic Editor, and stylized. Stylized is what will make the sky bluer and the flowers yellower and make it a more dramatic photo. And it gives you different choices. I like that second one. And it will even really stylize it, making it look like artwork. But I like that one. I tap the check mark, and then I save a copy. Okay, back to here. Now, what if you say, okay, I want to do that, and you open up a picture, you tap on Magic Editor, you tap on it again, and you don't get the stylized option. Take a look at these. None of the, oh, the middle one has stylized, and that's all. This is AI. So AI is looking at the picture and saying, what might I do with that picture? The first one, it says, well, I might make the sky better, or I might make it look like a sunset, golden hour, or I might make the water look better. In the second picture, there is no water, there is no sky, so it only offers you stylized. In the third picture, it doesn't offer you stylized, but it does offer you portrait. That's because there are people's faces in it. So let me go to that one that has people's faces in it. I tap on Edit. I tap on Magic Editor, this special button, and I tap on it again. Now, there's nothing I want to delete from this picture, so I just tap on Magic Editor again and choose Portrait, meaning make our faces stand out more than anything else. Notice how the background got a little blurry. And you have a few choices here. The middle one has the background even blurrier. If you want to see, well, what's the difference between this and the original? That's this little button right here. If I hold on that, now I'm looking at my original photo. I let go, I'm looking at the Magic Editor edited one. I do think that one looks better, don't you? You know, so Magic Editor is something to use if you took a picture that you really like, but you want it to be even better. You want it to be more dramatic. So I checkbox and I save copy.
They don't see that.
Oops. I tap to check and I save copy. And now just one last thing I want to show you is that it has recorded the fact that this photo was manipulated with AI. If I swipe up and look at the information, notice, yeah, I can zoom in down here.
I really can't.
Okay, I will then. Okay, notice down here under all info, credit, edited with Google AI. So It's not front and center, but if you ever need to know if a photo has been manipulated in Google Photos with the AI, with the Magic Editor, it is now part of the metadata of the photo.
Is that also
Okay.
on the Apple photos?
Yeah, well, Apple Photos doesn't have the same. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I think Google is early with this. Does anybody else know? Okay. I will check into that.
Because the copyright laws, AI generated stuff is not necessarily subject to copyright laws. Is that accurate?
Well, it's important to know the copyright laws say if it is substantially manipulated. If just AI has made the sky bluer, then that doesn't affect your copyright.
Okay, thank you.
Where are we? Magic Editor can do a lot more too. So there there is a video. I don't have it there. If you go to geeksontour.com and search for Magic Editor, you will see a couple more videos. You can make items in the picture larger or smaller or just move them around. For example, I show a picture of Jim and me, but we're kind of far apart and I just want to move us closer together. Magic Editor can do that. Okay.
Well, two heads are better than one.
Sometimes. All right. Now, here are some features that we've been using a lot lately because we are downsizing. We're getting rid of everything, even photo albums. Scan them into Google Photos. And here is the easiest way to scan whole albums at a time. 813.
813.
I have old photo albums like this around the house with pages and pages of photos that you would like to get into Google Photos. I want to show you an app called PhotoMine, which is the quickest and easiest way to get all of these photos scanned. It is a separate app on either Android or iOS, but once you have it installed, you can also access it right in Google Photos. Let me show you. I want to show you how you can get to it from within Google Photos. You tap Library and then Utilities, scroll down till you see Import Photos, and then choose PhotoMine. You do need to download it. I already have, but I haven't paid for it, so it makes me go through this each time. Now, you can use it for free if you tap up here at the top where it says ads are okay, but you will want to pay the $40 a year if you decide you really want to use it. So once you have it going, you just tap on scan at the bottom. And you just point at the page, the whole page of photos. You tap and hold the shutter button for just a couple seconds and watch how it separates out the individual photos. I'm not touching anything here. And now I can scan another page. Ooh, there's a lot of glare on this one. Touch and hold on the shutter button. Now I'm on the third page. Touch and hold the shutter button.
Chris, on my iPhone, I see two apps. One is
Is
Photos.
this amazing or what? Fourth page, touch and hold. I think you get the idea. And when you're done, you tap done. It says that I have captured 12 photos. It creates an album within PhotoMine, which I can name if I want, but I just want them to go straight to Google Photos. You tap the share button, connect to Google Photos, and save to Google Photos.
Right.
12 photos were saved. I can go take a look. And there are the photos I just scanned. Don't they look great?
Chris?
If anybody has old photo albums and you want to get them in, man, is that a simple way. Now, they won't be the highest resolution. I mean, realize it's scanning a whole page and then it's separating out the pictures. So they're not going to be the high, you're not going to be printing 11 by 14 prints from those.
Chris, we have a
But
question from Maddie, from a Mackie Bachelor. She says, do I have to install a Google Photos app to get it on my phone?
no, no. PhotoMine is a separate app. It is accessible through Google Photos, but it's also just a separate app. Yeah, I can show you here on my iPhone.
I see on mine, Photo Scan by Google and PhotoMine Share. They're both free.
PhotoMine. I don't know about the share part, but yeah, PhotoMine. Yeah, is this icon right here? It's a separate app on your iPhone. On your iPhone, PhotoMine. And you do need to set up an account.
Chris,
And yes.
I think you may not, I had walked away, but I think you may not. Yeah, Mackie's just saying now. She wanted to know, does she have to install Google Photos on her iPhone to
Oh,
use?
okay. Yeah. So if what you want to use is PhotoMine, no, you don't have to install Google Photos. If you want to use Google Photos, yes, it does not come pre-installed on an iPhone. You do need to install it from the App Store.
Thank you.
It is free, but you only get 15 gigabytes of storage space. So if you start using Google Photos a lot, it will fill up and you will need to pay Google for some more storage space. But yes. Okay.
Does that rule out duplicates?
Does it rule out duplicates? No. So you mean you might already have one of those photos in your
Possibly, yeah.
Google Photos library? And the reason, I mean, Google Photos will not allow you to upload the exact same photo more than once. So it doesn't do absolute 100% duplicates. However, when you use PhotoMine to scan a page from your photo album, those photos will be a different resolution than maybe the last time you did it. And if you had already put that photo in your Google Photos, you will have duplicates. And there's no good solution for duplicates. So far, I've just had to kind of live with them.
What about
Yeah.
storage space in Google Photos? That's going to take a hit when you're doing that, isn't it?
Yes, it will. So, I think Google's cloud storage prices are very reasonable. I don't know of any cloud storage for photos that is less than Google. They're all very similar. So I think you want to pay for it. It's only $2 a month to get 100 gigabytes. I pay the the $20 a month because that also gives me the premium Gemini AI plus 2 terabytes. I will never ever fill that up. And I share that with Jim. So basically it's $10 a month each. But most people don't need more than the $2 a month or $20 a year plan. If you wanted to save iCloud storage, would you recommend Google Photos or Flickr? Flickr was the original, but Flickr's main purpose is for sharing, not for storing yours. Now, it can store your photos in the cloud, but I think that its storage fees are quite a bit higher than either iCloud or Google's. I haven't looked at it lately, but I think they are quite a bit higher. So Google Photos or Flickr, I would recommend Google Photos. You know, Google Photos really has the best set of features for managing your lifetime of photos in the cloud. And then I use OneDrive as my secondary. I also use iCloud, but iCloud is Apple's cloud storage.
You can't use it with an Android.
Not Google. Yeah, you can't use it with an Android. So that's the main thing with Google Photos is it works just the same on iPhone as it does on Android. You can go back and forth with no worries. All right. Now this one, I'm not going to play this video, but make a note of it. Video 895. If instead of scanning whole pages of a photo album, you have a few individual photos and you want a best quality, then photo scan is the way to go. And video 895 will show you everything you need to know about using that. How do you find video 895? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. If you go to Geeks on Tour, tutorials, all videos, they are all in numeric order. You know, there's 895 right there. But we're not going to take time to do that one today. And I got to skip that one for now too, because I really want to show you this translating YouTube videos. Have you ever been searching for a video on YouTube and you start to play it and it's in a foreign language? You know, I did that once. Well, it's very easy to make, we're not going to play that video, to make closed captions be in a different language. So yeah, let me show you that. We go to YouTube. And actually, I'm just going to show you one of our recent videos, which of course are in English, but you can give closed captions in any other language. Let's just do this one that was a recent video. I'm going to create a... Oh, you can't hear the sound, can you? Oh. Shoot. Yeah, the way our system is set up here, you can't hear this sound. But trust me, I am speaking English there, okay? If you go to Settings and Subtitles, see, first you turn it on, then Subtitles English, and I can make it auto-translate to any of these languages. That is just amazing. So let's say French. So now I am speaking English in this video, but the captions are in French. So you can use that technique if you find a video in French and you want to be able to understand it in English. And every once in a while, a video will allow you to actually change the voice. It's under this audio track. And once again, to learn more on that, it's video 903. But
That
it's
option does not appear, Chris.
right, right. The option to change audio, the the closed caption appears on most all of them, but the audio is special. Very few videos, and our channel has the ability to change our audio. I haven't found many others that do, and that's just YouTube. It's a new feature to change the audio to a different language. And if you want to learn more about that, see video 903, and you know how to find that now.
Great.
Was there another? I see.
What about apps that turn photos into videos? There was no tutorial to utilize it.
Apps that turn photos into videos. Steve, you want to
Like
elaborate?
like AI or something?
Yeah, it's an app that would turn a photo into a video. Um, there was no way to find out how to actually use it, though. So I was wondering if you knew anything about that technique to do that.
Turn a photo into a video. A photo into
Yeah,
a
you can have a
video.
video from a photo from the 50s, and you can bring these dead people back to life through
Oh,
a
yeah,
Oh, right,
yeah.
right.
AI.
AI is
Right.
how that is being done.
Yeah.
So it depends on the AI or the place where you see that. You can go to certain websites and find that you upload the picture and it will animate it. It's kind of freaky. But there are other video editing softwares that also do that. The video editing software that I use, Filmora, has a feature that allows you to do stuff like that. I haven't played with it much, but I've seen some pretty cool effects being done.
So you don't have to
It's
buy
an
the app?
AI effect.
You don't need to buy the app to make this happen?
In some cases, you may have to pay for it, and it may not be just an app. I pay for my video editing software, absolutely.
I see. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, now Google Photos absolutely does not do that.
No.
Google Photos does not have a feature that turns a photo into a video.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And now this is another one that I have been using a lot as we are cleaning out the house.
Who's that?
I don't think those are our phones. That's somebody there.
There
we go.
Oh boy, too many noises.
And so this is scanning documents, not photos. I don't want pages of documents in my Google Photos. I want them to stay together. And I've been keeping journals since I was a little girl, and I want to keep those, but no, I don't want to keep the physical journals, so I've been scanning them, and here's how. Video 896.
Okay.
Do you have old photo albums like this around the house with pages and pages of photos that you would like to get into Google Photos? I want to show you an app called PhotoMine, which is the quickest and easiest way. I'm trying to clear out some of the memorabilia in my closets. The photos are really pretty easy. You scan them with your phone and put them into Google Photos. But what about old letters? I came across this one. This is a famous letter from my mother in 1983. I could take pictures of it, but it's 11 pages. That would be 11 pictures? That's kind of a mess. So I thought about it for a little bit and realized that using Google Drive, I could scan this using my phone still, and the 11 pages would become one PDF document. Let me show you how. All you need is Google Drive. So if you have a Google account and you have the Google Drive, if you have an Android, it's already installed. It's in your Google group. If you have an iPhone, just install the Google Drive app. It looks like this triangle. You open up Google Drive, and then in My Drive and files. Now, I've already started a folder for memorabilia from my mom, and it's called Mom. So I'm going to open that. And then you tap the plus. When I tap the plus to scan a new file, it's going to go into the Mom folder. So I tap plus and then scan. Now I come over to the letter and just get the whole letter on the screen, and notice it already captured the first page. Then I just tap the plus and it's automatically finding the outlines of the page and scanning it. I go to the next page, tap the plus, it finds it. All I have to do is hold it steady. And I'll do that for all 11 pages. It's captured all 11 pages now. I just tap done. And then you tap say. Oh, you can give it, here's where you can give it a name. And I like to start with a date, 1983, Mom's famous letter. This letter really does mean something to me, and I'm thrilled that I found it, and I now have it online in my Google Drive. Let me show you on the computer what that looks like. So here is my Google Drive, just drive.google.com, signed into my Google account. I find the Mom folder, and I can find that 1983 Mom's Famous Letter PDF. It's one file that is 11 pages. There it is. Other than the fact that her handwriting is not that easy to read, the scan is certainly perfectly easy to read. I'm Chris Gould with Geeks on Tour, and I think this is a fabulous way to save old memorabilia that's paper. And then what I don't show there is the AI. This just boggles my mind. I mean, you saw her handwriting, right? Yet the AI gives me a summary of the contents of that letter, and it is pretty accurate. So the AI can read her handwriting better than I can, and then give me a summary of what's in the letter. And that's all just built into Google Drive. That's nothing extra. All right. So, yes, thank you, Carol. She says that's great and very handy for scanning multiple page documents to a single PDF. And yes, I do that for certificates on the wall. I do that for one-page things too that I don't want to be in my photos. They belong in my documents.
Carol has her hand up there.
Oh, okay. Hey,
Come on up.
Carol.
You had a question,
Hey,
Carol?
Chris. So we've got a challenge with condo docs that are old. We've got pages that we've got something close to the original set, but they're on extra long pages, so they're longer than legal. Could this be used to, first of all, get them into a PDF? And then is it possible, can we use Google Drive to get a page that size? And secondly, once we've got it in a PDF, could it then be OCR'd to turn it into machine readable and editable documents?
Well, that's why I say you don't even need any OCR software. I mean, Google Drive does it. You just say, open this in Google Docs, and
Right.
it becomes an editable Google Doc. Now
Okay.
it won't be perfect. You'll have to go through and edit it
Right.
yourself. And yes, you should be able to get that long. You're just going to have to have more distance between. You're going to have to make sure that the whole length fits into the frame, and then it's going to be a little less accurate because it is
Yeah.
so far away. But but yeah, you should be able to do it. Absolutely.
Great, we'll try it. That's a fabulous fallback if it works.
Good idea. Yeah. Yeah. Great idea.
Bob, you have your hand up.
To do recipes to pass on to the kids, because quite a few of the recipes are on cards, but this works great. Easy way to share it.
Absolutely. Good point. Thanks.
Yeah. And Google Drive is just such a great place to store and organize, you know, because it uses folders that we are all accustomed to. Did we get all the questions, I think?
I don't see any new ones here. Okay. If anybody has a question, pop in.
And I just want to remind you about our tips, and this is one of the benefits of membership. To become a Geeks on Tour member, it's only $60 a year, and there's the tips are my best efforts at consolidating all the information on our website.
Her best effort, which is pretty good. Did you learn something? Your phone battery will drain when you're in remote areas. It will help if you do what?
Turn on airplane mode. And I see we have a couple hands. Let's go through our review questions.
And then we'll come back to yours,
come
okay?
back. Yep.
All right. True or false? With both Android and iPhone, you have a library of all apps, whether or not they show on a home screen.
True. And that hasn't always been the case. So just know that all your apps are there, whether or not you have a icon on a main home screen.
Okay. To take a quick photo, A, hold down.
Video.
I'm sorry. To take a quick video, A, hold down on the shutter button. B, double press the volume. Or C, ask Siri.
Actually, I think you can ask Siri, but my purpose here is A, hold down on the shutter button.
And that works on mine. I use it a lot.
Yeah.
True or false? Magic Eraser and Magic Editor is the same thing. Are the same
Are
thing?
the same thing?
Who wrote this?
False. Magic Eraser is better at erasing things from the picture, but that's all it does. Magic Editor can erase items, it can move items, it can resize items, and it can just beautify or stylize your whole picture. Magic Editor is fun.
It is fun. The app that scans multiple photos at once is A, Page Scan, B, Photo Mine, or C, Quick Scan.
B, Photo Mine. Very good. I heard somebody whisper that. Photo Mine.
All right. And to digitize documents, use A, Photo Scan, B, Doc Scan, or C, Google Drive.
Google Drive just does a great job, and it's right there. It's free.
Okay. So, let's see. We had a couple of questions here. Yeah, single. Thanks for the good info. Marcia, you have your hand up. What's up?
Yeah, I went to put Google Drive on my iPad or phone, and I do have Google, but Google Drive is a separate thing from Google. And do I put them both together and use them separately, or what? Do they get used together?
No.
No, they don't get used together. Google is just, I mean, that G, that is just the way you search, you know. Google it. You use that G to Google it. The Google Drive is a completely separate app. It's just that you use the same account. You know, Google Photos, Google Drive, Google Calendar, all those things use your Google account. The Google Search, you don't need an account for, I guess.
No.
Yeah, but if you do sign in with your account, it'll remember your searches. I think that's.
And it'll give you more accurate information.
Mike, you have your hand raised?
Mike.
Yes, can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Good. I'm in Spain.
Buenos
Hola.
dias. Hola.
So I've had some couple of friends talking to each other via Google Translate. What they seemed to do was they spoke into the phone. It was translated. They showed it to their friend. their friend replied on their phone in Spanish, and was who could read it. So how does that work?
Okay, we have a video on that. Let me just give you the number
I
and then
seem
I'll
to
tell
remember
you.
that, but I couldn't remember exactly what.
Yeah, if you just go to geeksontour.com and in the big search bar at top, type in
Yeah.
translate. And that's not the one you want. That's not the one you want. But yeah, Google Maps and Google Translate make international travel doable. We do a demo in that show. But let me just tell you, it is a separate app, so you need to install Google Translate, and then you need to tell it what languages you're dealing with, English and Spanish,
Yes.
and that you want to do conversation. You can use Google Translate just to type in, how do I say where is the bathroom, and it will type out for you how to say where is the bathroom. But if you enter the conversation mode, that's when you give the phone to the one person, they speak whatever language they're speaking, it says the language, it translates to speak in the other person's language. It works great, and it's a little tricky because people need to wait. Spanish, I know a few words of Spanish. I might kind of figure out what you're saying and I'll jump to try to answer you without waiting for the Translate app to do its thing. So it takes a little bit of training between the two people.
Yes.
But,
yeah, but they were doing that.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thanks.
We're almost out of
Cool.
time here.
That's fine.
So
Okay.
we're expecting you and Jim to speak both language.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
You're gonna have a course in it, so you're gonna have ample time to speak to many people in different languages and countries while you're there. So
Yep.
Godspeed.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And all that good stuff. And thank you for coming today. You were
And all you have to do is sign up for our newsletter and you'll be kept in, we will keep in touch and say what we're doing and where we are and whether or not the internet's good enough that we can keep doing these kind of things. It should be.
Yeah, it should be.
Thank you.
everything great. Thank you, everybody, for attending. Stay safe and well, and we'll probably have a class in April. I'm not sure when, but keep checking the club site to get the latest information. Thanks again to Jim and Chris, who are not only nationally famous, but they are soon to be internationally famous.
What do you mean soon to be? Thanks, Barry. Thank you all. Good to see everybody. Bob, we'll see you
See you
hasta la
Monday.
vista.
later today.
The video,
Thank you so much.
the recording
All right.
of the video should be available on Saturday or Sunday, so keep checking back. And that's all, folks.
Bye.
Happy St.
Bye.
Patrick's Day to those it applies to.
And thanks for connecting me back on, Barry.
I'm ending right now.